With GameStop stock prices going all over the place, I figured now's the perfect time to talk about GameStop and how I feel about it in 2024. I know we're 5 months into the year here, almost halfway through. And honestly, the most exciting thing to happen to GameStop this year is their stock price going crazy. Now, I want to say I don't go to GameStop in 2024 for a few reasons, and we'll get to that when we get into this video. But I do want to say GameStop is still a store that I would like to stay open, because if it goes away, I think that is a huge hole in the market, whether it's used games or retro games. I don't want to see GameStop go, as much as honestly I would love to see them get shut down and something else come through. But honestly, I feel like GameStop going out in 2024 would be problematic for the gaming industry as a whole. Now, first off, my local GameStop store really sucks. The first half of the store, maybe not even the first half, is games, and then the back half is all plush and figures and all that. They only really have Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series 1 and Xbox Series stuff. So it's a little bit all over the place when it comes to a game store. I don't think of those 5 consoles as being like the mainstays. Now, yes, I know some stores have more games. Like there's a store maybe like 30 minutes away from me that has a bunch of retro stuff, which if it's still open, I still need to go and check it out and show you guys. But there's a small section of like 10 to 20 games that are like games that have gotten traded in that are also different, but those really don't stay around very often, which is also weird. But I feel like GameStop in 2024 is doing it all wrong. They got rid of their Pro Elite membership, which was absolutely awesome. And they pretty much got rid of their Pro membership. I know they still have a Pro membership. However, you don't really benefit much. I think you get a coupon every month as well as their magazine. And honestly, that's just them trying to get you in the store. And it's just not really worth it to me. Now, when the Pro membership used to be awesome with the 10% and then the bonus 10% when you trade it in, it was definitely worth it, as well as the 15 and 15 for the Pro Elite, or was it 20? Honestly, I can't remember, but that thing was absolutely insane. And I understand why it went away really quickly, because they were probably losing a ton of money. But I digress. That membership program probably did them some really good business. And now I don't even go into the store because I don't really have a reason to. When new games come out, I hit up my local Target store first in my town, because that's the best place to buy it, and then Best Buy, and then Walmart, and then at the very end of the list is GameStop, just because every time I go in there, it's weird. It's kind of doesn't feel right. The last time I went in there, there was 2 employees, like a 35, 40-year-old and like a 17 or 18-year-old, and the old man was like showing off and bragging to the girl, and it was totally weird and probably not okay. But then again, it's GameStop. I don't expect anything good there. I think the last time I bought a game from GameStop that wasn't from their website was like maybe the first year of the Switch, 2017 or 2018, because back then they had the Pro membership and I was trading in a ton of stuff with the Elite Pro, and it was just awesome. Nowadays, they don't really offer too much for your systems. Like I just saw like the PlayStation 5 Slim physical console was only worth like, I want to say like they were offering $230 as a Pro member for cash, and then like $300, I think. It changes, whatever. But they were selling that for like $450, which is absolutely insane, because the console's $500 brand new. So whatever. then the used games are only like $5 cheaper than the new games, which is a whole nother thing. When you're talking about a $70 game brand new and it's $65 used, why in the world would anyone want to pay that? Honestly, I would never do that. And I've been there and thought about it, but then I saw the price and like, not happening. So I think GameStop could do a few things to actually turn their business around. First off, I think they've got to get away from this merch first mindset and kind of section that off to maybe like 20% of the store. You've got to get gamers in the store, and I feel like their prices, they're so low for what they're offering and so high for what they sell games for. I think if they kind of change those margins a little tighter, they'll probably do a little bit better. Now, obviously, this is a bad idea when it comes to business, depending on how you run your business. But at a broad scale, if you're selling more games, maybe at a smaller commission or a smaller percentage, you could still do some really good numbers. However, GameStop, I feel like, bought way too many games and kind of overpaid for them maybe, and so that's why they're selling them at these astronomical prices. Or maybe if they could give you like 5 to 10% more on trades, maybe it could do better for them. But I also feel like every time I go to a local GameStop in my area, there's always the people that work there that think they know what they're talking about. And then when they start talking, you quickly realize that, okay, that guy probably just read a magazine or saw an article about this. He's not actually knowing what he's talking about, which is really annoying. And I've even gone to GameStop stores before. A few years ago, I was shopping and the guy came up to me while I was shopping and asked me questions. And he was like, I've asked them, but they can't really help me here. You're in this section. Can you kind of help me out? And I helped him out a little bit. He was asking about games that I don't really play, but I could say, okay, these probably 3 games here are probably up your alley if you like these kinds of games. But I feel like GameStop employees, kind of not to their fault, because I feel like they don't get paid very much, don't really care that much or know very much. And I don't blame the ones that are young, but I feel like the way that GameStop is kind of ran by corporate, they kind of feel more like a Walmart than they do a game store, because the community, I feel like, is just not there. So I think GameStop could do a few things to bolster their kind of stores in their own communities, make them bring back those midnight releases. That used to be absolutely insane. The one I live like 10 minutes from doesn't even do midnight releases anymore, which is absolutely a shame. I think the last one that I went there for was maybe one of the Switch games that came out. I can't remember exactly what it is. I think it might actually have been Super Mario Odyssey, if I remember correctly. But what I'm saying is, I feel like those stores need to reach out to their community. Maybe find like Smash communities that play in the area and invite them to play at night, or do something like local game stores often tend to do in my area. But I feel like GameStop is too corporate, too executive managed, and honestly, it's probably one of those stores that's going to go away in like 2 to 3 years probably. But I think they could save it, and I don't really want to see them go away, because I don't want stores like Amazon or Walmart stepping up and taking over that space. But honestly, I think GameStop has their future limited here. But what do you think? Is GameStop going to make it past 2025, or will it go out of business soon? I'm not quite sure, but I do know for a fact that right now, as I'm recording this, those GameStop stock prices are going insane. So I guess I'll just stick around and watch that. Maybe I'll make some videos or something stupid about it, but I'm going to get out of here. So check that video out if you haven't already. Honestly, I think GameStop is big enough that if it goes away, it'll cause problems in the game industry for people that don't have local stores near them. But at the same time, I don't know if I want GameStop to be around with what they've been doing. So comment down below and let me know what you think about it. But I'm getting out of here, so check that video out if you haven't already.